I was learning about green design. I was beta testing. I guess that's what people said to me. I would throw products in the back of my car, watch how they would react to scratches, to heat, to abuse, you know, because I was scared. I mean, no one ever used these things before. And I was specifying and designing with these products that no one had any experience with. And I went, I'm going to be ultimately responsible. How am I going to stand by this? Okay, the countertops was Vitrazo. At that time when I utilized it, it was called Counter Productions. It was rebought just recently, maybe about like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. That's what I call recently. This project was done earlier than that. And no one, not one contractor, had ever had the experience of dealing with it, how to cut it, how to utilize it, how to make, you know, any changes, how to grout with it. It was something absolutely foreign. Also, they didn't know how to finish it. I was enamored by green, and in the sense that it gave me a reason to be a designer. Yeah, I can design great spaces, and I have a long history of awards and all that, but as a personal statement, it was like not enough. I had to have a reason also to be a designer, and the reason was to assist the planet and to help in the growth and development. When I did this project, the clients could care less if it was green or not. Who cared? They just wanted something really wonderful, they wanted something functional, and they wanted something that was designed and that looked special. And there was no reason why green design could not respond to those criteria. That's my criteria as well. You know, there's no reason why a green designer cannot be aesthetic, sophisticated, functional, and so I was exploring materials. I flew up to Berkeley. I'm going to tell you, when I met the guy, and he knew I was coming, we were going to discuss all this, because I was scared that he would not perform for me. Okay, he was hungover, he was, God only knows what, he had something else to go to, and there I flew all the way to Berkeley. Not that it's all the way, but it was still time for me, okay? I was really pissed. And I was really, really skeptical. However, I thought the product was fabulous, and it had really good potential. So I said, okay, I'm going to ignore this terrible meeting with this overhung guy who's very talented and very creative, and I'm going to try this. Okay, so I specified it. I don't even want to tell you how long it took to get here. Okay, I mean, like I had, to work with that, it was the process of insurance was the big deal. Because when you cross San Diego lines, certain trucking companies have to have certain insurance. Well, this company didn't have that in place at this time. I mean, we're talking about a lot of stamina and freak out here. And I said, no, my granite guy is not going to come out in Orange County and pick this up and take the responsibility, you know, for you. So anyway, we worked that out, and that was a trauma. And then the pieces were not even. I have really good people that back me, who've worked with me for years. I've been in business since 1985, and I've been in the design industry since 1978. I have a really good relationship with some excellent, excellent people who are willing to take risks. And they said, don't worry, Laura, we got your back, we'll make it work for you. I was freaking out totally. All right, because like we had slabs of this stone that were like this, and that were wavy, and that we had, in fact, in this design, I had to adjust the design to accommodate the friggin' slab. I had to change the design. Originally, the slabs were going to be overhung like 1.5 inches like normal. Well, instead, because of how undulating the material was, I had to make it flush because we had to cut a lot. And so therefore I said, well, shoot, what are we going to do now? And so I did like a reveal. That was not supposed to be flush, and that's the stainless steel that you see. All the materials here, by the way, that you see are FSC, and they are all sustainable. They're veneers, all adhesives. I was using this stuff for 10 years. We also weren't clear about how to finish this. Anyway, it worked out. It just worked out just fine, finally. Except now I also challenged my cabinet maker to deal with this other material, which you see, which is lighted up with fluorescent lighting. Is a material called Panamite. He said, Laura, you are going to have such a problem, or I am going to have such a problem, making sure that the ends meet and that we can have a clean seam. And I go, come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. No problem, no problem. I said, okay, we'll try. And at the end of it, he said, I did it. It was great. It was easy, simple, not a problem. This is Panelite. It's a recyclable resin. And it's a fabulous material. It has the opportunity to do structural as well as stairs, as well as accents. You could backlight it. It's just a phenomenal, phenomenal material. And I loved it. It served well in the overall design. The clients did not, and the woods that you see is a veneer of sapele as well as natural maple and eucalyptus, ribbon eucalyptus. Those were the three woods that I used. And again, everything was working with, and people weren't sure. I mean, my cabinet guy had never had the experience at the time of will the adhesives stay? Will the veneers not lift off? I mean, these are all things that we have to consider when we're doing and specifying what is going to be the ultimate, product, and are we going to get client back to us complaining? And how do we protect ourselves within that framework? It was always a stretch to make this happen. But like I said, what my cabinet guy did was really pretty incredible. And what I did also, he put various panels using the adhesives out in the sun, then put it into a refrigerator. I had it in my car. I put it inside. I put it in my refrigerator just to see how temperature changes would affect. And, because these things were not tested. We are in such a different atmosphere right now. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we have things that are tested. You could be relaxed. People have more experience in working with these materials. You got it easy, guys. You really do. I finally had the opportunity to use Kirei. This was a client again, who none of my clients really want green. Now the clients are starting to become, well, can we do green? But really, the bottom line is, can you still design a sophisticated look? Can you still design a comfort look? And that's what we're hiring you for. I choose to use green products to do all of that. It's not the materials that drive the design, it's the designer or the architect. And you have to know your materials, and you have to have the right people to produce it for you. And you have to know what you need to specify. With this, I got the clearance from John to share with you. I had a problem with Kirei. I had exposed edges. I know, John, I did, but he resolved it in time. But at the time, it was not resolved. And what happened is that the edges, exposed edges, as beautiful as they were, which created another pattern, were so free and soft that I didn't know what to do. And so therefore, on the job site, again, I changed my design, and I put stainless edging, banding, to protect that edge, except for areas that were not going to be handled a lot, because I still like that. Since then, Kirei has done and dealt with that edging and has promoted, and has told various ways of how to handle that problem. It was always the problem. The biggest thing was to have, at my time when I first started, is to have people that were willing to work with the materials that I selected. They always knew it was going to be a challenge. They always knew that it was going to be different than what they were used to. And they were all willing to do it. And so we worked through a lot, we learned through a lot.